easy one because, what's better than having blades coming out of your hands? I mean, that's awesome. Claws that come out of your hands. That's pretty cool. Next question comes from Key NES Rules. I don't know if that's the way you pronounce it. Sorry. He asked what my 3 Desert Island DS games are. And that would be the first, most obvious, and easiest title to pick would be Tetris DS. Why? Infinite replayability. You could just perfect your skills at Tetris DS. Not that you could ever show anybody or tell anybody, unless you got rescued. Core 10 for the DS. That would be another choice. I know it's not necessarily a video game, but the fact that you can sit there and you can create your own music with this device, and it's so deep. I just think, if you had all the time in the world to do nothing, imagine what you could do with that program. Contra 4, it's like a gaming classic. I mean, it's the sequel to, or it's almost a remake of the original in a lot of senses, and it's just incredible, the gameplay, and you would just be able to play that over and over again. At least I could pick it up and play it anytime and just have so much fun with it. However, there is one game that, if I was allowed to pick a game that's going to be out in the future, that's Scribblenauts, and that's just, to me, that game would be, if you haven't seen anything on that, check it out. That would be a game that would just be incredible to have, just, if you were trapped on an island. Next question comes from Amanda789101. She asked, I'm imagining it's a she. If it's a he, I'm sorry. I guess you shouldn't always assume. But do I play WoW? And if so, what server? No, I don't play WoW. I did for about a month. And then when I left GameStop, I kind of lost contact with all the guys that I worked with, and that was really who I just started playing with. And when I lost contact with them, I didn't have any desire to play it on my own or to meet up with new people. I'm not very social. No, but I did play on the Skull Crusher was the server I played on. It just did not. It didn't catch my attention like it has for a lot of people. Next question comes from Base Rocker 19, and he asks, where on the East Coast do I live? That's Delaware. Next question comes from my good buddy Pixel Sandwich Bear, as he's known by his viewers, and that is, how long have I been married? It'll be 2 years on the 28th of July, so 2 years coming up here shortly. Wish me luck, guys. He also asks, how does my wife handle my gaming or my game playing instead of spending time with her? And the short answer to that question is, she doesn't handle it well. When we first got married, that was something I really had to learn to balance, and had to really pull off a really good balancing act. It's still tough, and there's still struggles to this day. I think more than anything, though, my involvement with Everyday Gamers and writing for a gaming website, it's like now she sees me taking this in a whole nother direction she doesn't really like, and unless I start getting paid for it, which who knows if that'll ever happen. I don't think so. But it's tough. I mean, anybody who's going to get married, and if you're a gamer, I recommend that you are upfront and you allow your spouse to be, your partner to be, that you're a gamer, and that it is a passion of yours. Because if not, you're going to be in for a surprise when they want you to come to bed at 11 o'clock or at 10 o'clock, and you still want to finish up another match or 2 or 20 of Call of Duty 4 online. So, hope that answers your question. Next question comes from my buddy Splatter Trigger. He asked, what is my rarest video game item? And I actually have 2 items that were pretty rare. I mean, at least to me. I don't know anybody else who owns these. You only got this if you were a manager at GameStop. When BioShock came out, they sent us this in the mail to the store. And when I opened it up, I was pretty blown away by it because I had no idea that this was coming. But it is a BioShock. Whoa! Don't hit myself in the face or drop it. It is a hand-painted BioShock faceplate, which is numbered 4038 out of 5100. So when they sent that out to me, I was blown away. I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, you know, you never really got nothing but a lot of crap from, you know, the upper level management when you worked at when I worked at GameStop at least, and for somebody to say, hey, you're doing a good job, thanks, that was really cool. The other thing that I really like personally is this letter opener, this Heavenly Sword letter opener. This is the blade that Noriko uses in the game, and I just think it's really cool, really unique looking. So that's it. And he also asked, why do the Phils suck? Because they're a Philadelphia team. I mean, what else? You know, I waited how long for them to win a championship, and they finally won one, so I'm going to have to suffer for a few more years. I mean, it's just look at the history of Philadelphia sports teams. I mean, it's inevitable. We're going to suck. So I hope that answers your question. Next question comes from Martinai 007. You know what? I'm sorry. It's actually Martini 007. And he asked, is the PSP Go a worthy buy? You know, for me personally, I think it will be. Because I'm a gamer, I'm going to want to have the system. Is it truly worth the purchase? It's hard to say. I mean, it depends on how they handle this. If they handle it kind of like, you know, an iPhone and, you know, add apps to the, you know, an app store and things like that, it could be worth it. And if developers really get behind this and start, you know, producing some software, it could be worth it. I need to get my hands on to really, you know, kind of get a feel for it and see. Will it top the PSP 3000? You know what? I think it will. I think eventually what's going to happen is they're going to, you know, drop the PSP 3000 altogether, and then the PSP Go is what you're going to have. And it also depends on if they implement the ability to transfer over your UMDs like they said they are going to. We'll see. I mean, I always want to have a physical copy of any game that I own, so if you can't easily do that, then it won't be worth it for me. He asked how many DS systems do I have. You know, DS, DSi. That is, I have two. I have the Triforce Gold DS, which was the Zelda bundle that came out, I guess it was 3 Christmases ago, and I have a blue DSi, as most of you know. Favorite portable gaming system? That's easy. It's the DS or the DSi. I love the system. I've mentioned why many times. And asked my favorite food. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it's interesting because my wife is half black and half Trini. Her dad's from Trinidad. Her mom's from New York. So, and then I'm just pure white boy. You know, so both of us have our own upbringing and our own, you know, she brings a lot of unique foods to the plate, I guess, if you know, I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but, you know, so I've gotten a chance to kind of experience some new foods and some new cuisine with her, you know, some Trini food, you know, some soul food, definitely, you know, collard greens and macaroni and cheese, but I guess just to make it an easy answer, my favorite food is Chinese food, and if I had to pick one Chinese dish, it would be sesame chicken. I love sesame chicken, so there you go. Clash 836 asks, who, you know, Leon Kennedy or Chris Redfield, who do I like better? Leon Kennedy, just simply because of the fact that Resident Evil 4 is still my favorite game in the entire series, so easy enough, I guess. Next question comes from Caius015, and the question he asked, he had a large paragraph, and I'm not going to read it all, but I did read through it all myself. In a nutshell, he asked, how do I feel about buying games in such large quantities yet not playing all of them? And he said that he kind of does the same thing himself. You know, to be honest with you, it doesn't really bother me. Like you said, it doesn't bother you to do that. The way I look at it is my backlog is huge. I'll never probably catch up to what I have to play. But as much of a gamer as I am, I'm also a collector and a little bit of a hoarder.